to Crazy Kids channel. In today's session we will see how to find standard deviation for data. Standard deviation is important as we need to measure the dispersion. It is nothing but how the scatter of data points is related to its mean. It is also called as root mean squared deviation, and the way to find the standard deviation is to find the square root of variance. Now let us see how to find standard deviation for this discrete frequency distribution. Here we have values along with that how frequently they have appeared. Now for these values x and f, we need to assume one of the x values as assumed mean, and depending upon that we will find the deviations. Now let us assume value 31 as a mean. And to find the deviations, we have to use the formula x minus a, whereas x is these values and a is 31. So here I have written down the values. 20 minus 31 is minus 11, 22 minus 31 is minus 9, like that we will write down the values. After this we need to find d square and then f into d and f into d square. Like this we will find different values, and also we will be required to find sigma f, which is nothing but n. We can also call it as number of observations n. So we just have to add all these values to obtain sigma f, sigma fd and sigma fd square. Like this we will write down the values. Now we will substitute these values in the formula. Formula for standard deviation is square of variance, and here is this square root of variance. Now we will substitute all these values. Sigma fd square, sigma f also we have here. Sigma fd is 167 divided by sigma f is 107 whole square. Now if we keep the values and simplify with 7.35, so the deviation is 7.35. Like this we can find, this is one of the formulas that we can use. Apart from this, there is also another way of doing this. So this is for grouped data, and for grouped data first we have to find the midpoint of the class, which is denoted by m. That we can find by taking average of the class upper limit and lower limit. So we just have to add these two values and divide it by 2, and 98 is the value for first class. Like that we will find the midpoint for each and every class. Again here we have to find the deviation. For that we can assume 118 as the mean, and we need to find the deviation as m minus a, where a equal to 180 divided by h. H is nothing but the class interval. Here we have to subtract the upper limit from lower limit so that we will get the h. In this case, if we see the number of values in this class is 5, so we have to include this 96 also. 96, 97, 98, 99 and 100. So we have 5 values for each and every class. So h for the class would be 5 here. Substituting the values for each and every class, we will get the values like this. Now again it's the same, we need to find d square, fd and fd square. So now in this formula, as we have used it divided by h here, even while finding the standard deviation we will find a difference in the formula. That is how we have two different formulas for finding standard deviation. It all depends on the way we calculate the deviation in this data. So now we need to find sigma f, sigma fd, sigma fd square. Let us write down the values here. Now let us see the formula. See here at the end of the formula we can see into h, which was not present in the earlier calculation. This has come just because the way we have calculated the deviation. So upon substitution the values, 9.25 is the standard deviation for this data. So these two values we can identify which formula to use depending upon the way we find the deviation. Without finding the deviation also, we can find the standard deviation by just using the x value. That is a third way of finding that. Here I have covered only depending upon the deviations. Thanks for watching.